Welcome, everybody. I believe this is our sixth consecutive year of holding spring detox courses together. We've always had people join in from all over the world, literally. Canada always, Europe, and even parts of Asia. And many of you come back year after year as what we call repeat students. You become part of the community because detox is hard to do alone. When the gunky stuff is coming out, you not only, go through some physical transformations, but mentally and emotionally also. It's nice to have, good girlfriends uh, to hold hands with and go through the process and also understand what's going on. Knowledge can be such an inspiration and can aid you in the process of detox. So I have a beautiful presentation prepared for you all today. Let's dive in. Um, it's in the hopes that it will answer all your questions about this course, but we do have also a Q&A. Can everybody see my screen? We're going to go over 11 reasons why it's a good thing to do detox. But first, let's give a quick nod to the lineage and to the gurus so they can aid us in this process that's coming up for us over the next 8 to 9 weeks. It's the Shaka Vansyia Ayurveda ancestry, and it's made up of a long, illustrious line of Ayurvedic teachers and healers who came to India before India was known as India. They came from another part of the world at the behest of Lord Krishna, who was then alive and whose son was stricken with leprosy. It's a cosmic mystery why stuff happens the way it does to whoever it happens to. But we leave that up to God. And so Lord Krishna invited these Brahmins who lived in an island called Shaka, and they were called Mug Brahmins because they were reputed for being amazing healers, especially for the skin, because he had tried every other avenue and nothing was working. So they came over and they healed the son of his leprosy. So Krishna wanted them to stay, and they did. And they built temples to the sun god. And this is a wheel from one of the sun gods in Konark, the Konark Sun Temple. It's a sundial. We can talk more about this. There's so much to say, but these are we can go as back as Divyaditya Mishra in the 14th century. These are the ancestors of Vaidya Mishra, who has put together this detox program for us. So it's a long line of healers and teachers, and it's a very beautiful knowledge, but it's also very practical because he updated it to be really balancing and healing for the modern physiology. And right now, our modern physiology is going through so much because there's so much new technology and new edibles and all kinds of things that the human body was not exposed to before. So we have the support of this long line of healers and teachers, but the benefit of it being also updated for us. And you'll see what I mean by that when we're going more into details. And it's only, proper. This long line of healers and teachers continues now with the beautiful ladies and sometimes gentlemen who are helping spread this knowledge, applying it themselves in their lives, and just helping the world be a better place by helping everybody get the best out of their own health and their life and their happiness. So here's a quick glance to the educators who are joining us for this course. Myself, Melina, I'm very delighted to be with all of you. As always, sharing this knowledge means is of great meaning for me personally and professionally as well. And I'll be with you for the next several weeks and available, for any discussions. Donalda is an incredible teacher who's also she went through her own personal experiences with Ayurveda and specifically with Vajra Mishra before joining the team of our teachers. And she's an amazing instructor. She knows things from the inside out. So we're very happy she's with us. Maxine is an incredible educator with decades of experience in the educational field, and she is so good at giving you the knowledge with great clarity and easing your journey of discovering SVA that might be sometimes a little, mystical and hard to perhaps understand because it's very different from mainstream dosha-oriented Ayurveda. Shambhavi Kriyaban was with Vajra Mishra for many years, just sitting by him, taking notes, helping him with so many research projects. She's always a delight. She shares her great wisdom, but also anecdotes and memories from her time with Vajra. It's always a delight to have her be part of our team. Evangeline is a dear, dear friend who is carrying the torch up in Canada and spreading the good news. She has great experience. As you can see, she's a licensed registered massage therapist and a yoga instructor as well. And she's just really so wonderful. And it's delightful to listen to her speak the knowledge. It just flows through her. Jackie is not with us today, but she will be joining us, is a registered nurse by profession. And she just, again, the knowledge comes to her so natural and it's so inspirational to listen to her. She joined our team more recently, just a few years ago, but she's a delight to be around and have. Carol Nace is an old timer, definitely many, many lifetimes. A great, she has so many chords to her arch, and she has many gifts to share with all of us during this course, and always very enthusiastic about Ayurveda. Thank you for being with us, Carol. So, we're going to do home detox. Why are we going to do home detox? A lot of people will come to this, oh, I need to lose a couple pounds. Oh, I need to, feel more energetic. I need to fix my diet. There can be so many different reasons for why, especially nowadays, because doing detox has become more of a familiar practice. Even though if you look at it from quote unquote Western perspective, the concept of detox is still very elemental and very, limited. But Ayurveda has come really long way since the 1970s and 80s, and there's so much more of it available that helps us understand so much about our bodies and what we can do to improve things. So before we go into details, I just want to mention that we have a podcast channel. It's called SV Ayurveda, and we have wonderful recordings of Vajra Mishra, as well as Dr. Tattlebaum and some other teachers as well. And you can just go and explore and listen and, learn more, find out more. But today I wanted to dive into 11 reasons why. I mean, there could be 1,011 reasons or 100 reasons, but we'll focus on 11 reasons why we should do detox. And I emphasize should do detox at the seasonal junctions. Actually, why don't we just talk about one reason instead of delving into 11 different reasons? If we can have only one reason for why we should do detox in the spring, and it's a good, valid reason, I think we don't need 11 reasons. What do you ladies think? Why don't we go around and see what could be one reason that we should be doing a detox this spring? Who would like to start first? Let me stop my share so I can see everybody.
Well, for one, we have the support of nature because it's spring. So everything's opening up. Our channels are more receptive. So
Beautiful.
we're already supported.
That is what I want to talk about. But let's see what else. Barbara is saying increase love and light in self and the world. Yes, definitely. What else? What could be one reason?
We just need to clean out winter accumulation out of our system.
Absolutely. Because in the winter with the cold weather, you will feel your body stiffens up and stuff you're eating doesn't give you the same kind of experience that it does in other seasons. Beautiful. What else?
Oh, yeah, just aligning with nature, with the rhythms of nature.
Beautiful. We're going to talk about what that means, by the way. Who else? Yes.
To just reset the whole digestive process.
Absolutely. Resetting our digestive process, digestion and elimination. Who else? Let's take a couple more and then I'll go back to Laurel. Did you want to share one reason why maybe it's a good idea to do detox?
Well, so we don't get sick because our body wants to get rid of these things. And if we don't help it, it'll do it for us.
Oh, well put. Well put. Yes. Let's see. Santa, are you there? Do you want to share something? There she is.
Hey,
Santa,
Mishna, how are you? Yes, yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay. You look very nice as usual.
Thank you.
But actually, to keep up the good health, we all want to get rid of the disease,
Yes.
not to get more disease in the body.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you, Santaji. Thank you.
Sure, of course.
So these are all amazing reasons. And depending on where you're coming from, now we have more of an understanding of our bodies in relation to the environment within which we exist. And it's an interactive relationship. It's not, neutral, or it's not just, shut off. There's so much going on that's altering us, that's impacting us on a daily basis, from very subtle to more gross. So, and this is something that many of you already mentioned. The one and most primary and most elemental reason probably would be to reconnect with the world that we are living in, to be attuned with the rhythms of nature, as some of you said, and to flow with it. And there's this, all ancient cultures had more of this, intuitive knowingness of being connected to the environment and to the world that we live in. And this is just one example from, the Jewish tradition. It's from the book of Ecclesiastes, and I'd like to read it because it's just so beautiful and it's really timeless. And it says, "For everything there's a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. This is just so beautiful because everything we do has to be aligned with the world around us, especially when it comes to the flow of seasons. Not because it has to be, because we are constricted and restricted to laws of nature, but because we'll get the most out of the gifts that are naturally given to us. When we are hungry, we eat and then we feel better. When we are tired, we go to bed, we sleep, and then we wake up and we are refreshed, we're able to continue. There's all these natural things that are constantly flowing through us. We have been given so many gifts that are just, we end up taking for granted sometimes because we are so used to them and we're not thinking about them. In this sense, spring and the different seasons each bring their own gifts, and spring is the time for detox. So if you were to think about it in very elementary terms, the one and only reason perhaps to do detox in the spring is because it is springtime. Just like when the sun rises, it is time to get up and, go about and be active. Springtime is the time to do detox. It sounds like a very basic and redundant concept, but you're going to see why. And this is one of the things that you're going to learn in this course. Why spring is a good time for detox. Don't take it for granted, because there are still a lot of people who are doing detox at every odd time of the year, like right after the holidays, in the middle of summertime, or, there's all kinds of different protocols. They're all good because it's an attempt. Everybody's trying. But when you do something at the right time, when you eat when you are hungry, not when you're already full, then, it's a different experience. When you sleep when you are tired, than just, spending your day sleeping. When you do detox in the springtime, you get full nature's support. You are realigned. You get to experience and live the best you that is possible given the body that you have. And it's because of very specific things. And we're going to see what those things are. Reason number one, you will discover what these laws of nature that are working in nature, like that are working in our physiology, that nature has, is interacting with us through our physiology, what they are, and how you can optimize them in order to get the best. So you will learn the what, the how, and the when of self-administered detox. This is not an organ flush or a liver flush or a kidney flush or any of the other protocols that are out there. It's not a fasting program. You're going to get to eat a lot of delicious things. We have wonderful, easy, balanced Ayurvedic recipes. It's not a commercial cleanse with dietary and herbal supplements. You will get some Ayurvedic products in your detox box to help you with some aspects of the detox. But it's not, you don't have to take commercial products in order to actually bring about a detox. It's just to aid your physiology with some gentle herbs. It's not a colon cleanse. We don't do colon cleanses or colon hydrotherapy, and it's not panchakarma. This is a big topic, and we can talk about it during the course, but we don't do panchakarma, especially not the way it was, written down classically for many reasons, and we'll find out. We do spring detox with the Shaka Vansyia Ayurveda tradition because it is very important to learn about the 4 types of toxins. Ayurveda generally talks about ama, but there are 3 other toxins that have been lost in translation, literally, over time, and that Vaidya brought back for us. He knew of them. He studied them with his father through their lineage. The knowledge was kept alive, but somehow it has been obscured in mainstream Ayurveda. Once you learn about these 4 toxins, you can never unlearn it. You will see them everywhere. They're very practical. They're very much, a reality of modern life. So just knowing what they are, you will be able to make better choices, and you will also learn how to detox from them, and you will feel so good right away. These toxins, in order to be able to detox from them, and this is a very central concept again in Shaka Vansyia Ayurveda, you need to address the pathways or the channels through which they entered, because they have to be evacuated from the same channels. And we have two types of channels. We're going to learn more about this. They're the shrotas and the nadis. The shrotas are the physical channels, and anything that you can see either with the naked eye or under a microscope. The nadis, on the other hand, are completely energetic. We call them vibrational channels that you cannot see. We don't have a microscope for that, but some people, maybe with extrasensorial perception, can see them already. And you will learn how to detox toxins that are either physical and gross or vibrational. And maybe you have not heard of a vibrational toxin. You're going to find out what that is as well. So once you know what your toxins are, what is bothering you, somebody might have a great diet, they have a great routine at exercise, they're eating, and digesting and absorbing very well, but they're still feeling off, they still have a problem. It could be that they just have vibrational toxins, but they don't know, and they don't know what to do with it. So you'll learn all of that. So you're going to learn a lot of knowledge that you can use on yourself. But if you are also an Ayurvedic teacher or counselor, this is also knowledge that you can bring into your own practice to help others with. It's introductory. There are other more, in-depth courses and knowledge that we do offer, but it's a great place to start. You experience it yourself first. So you will learn the distinction between the vibrational and the actual physical or the material, and understand the shrotas versus the nadis, and how they play a different role at different times of the day, of the year, and seasonally. Then we get into more, specifics that come with detox as side benefits. For example, eliminating fatigue, body aches, by learning how to take care of your shrotas, because that's something that results from shrotas being blocked or not flowing properly. We learn how to alkalize our channels and lubricate them, which is something that you might not be familiar with. Reason number 5, a very important aspect that might not be addressed in detox protocols and programs in general is taking care of the emotional heart and the mind. This is something that's connected to the more subtle, our more subtle body, not just the physical body. And for this, you will learn how to manage your nadis, your vibrational channels, through marma. Marma is a science, sister science to Ayurveda. It's complete in and of itself. And in this course, we have brought it in because it's such a great aid, especially when you are doing detox and you may experience an emotionally or mentally bumpy ride while you're releasing toxins that have been stored for a long time. Doing marma is a very gentle protocol. Vaidya designed a very beautiful protocol, beautiful course for this, and it is included in your detox course because it's such an important aspect of doing detox. So it's like having a double course, a course within a course, and you will get to hear others talk about it during our Q&A. A very important 6th reason is learning the relationship between prana, food, your mind, and heart. The role of prana. Prana is something that a lot of people talk about, but the way Vaidya Mishra and his lineage understood and explained prana gives a whole new dimension to and practical applications of using prana in every aspect of Ayurvedic healing, whether it's relating to food. Vaidya used to talk about dumb, dead, and intelligent food, which really refers to how much prana your food has. how prana can impact your mind and your emotional heart and overall health. It has to do with the nadis, the vibrational channels. It's a really fascinating topic. You cannot have rejuvenation without restoring the flow, circulation, and elimination of prana, no matter how perfect your detox protocol might be. So you cannot do detox and rejuvenate unless there's a good amount of prana in the equation, and you'll learn how to do that. This is Vaidya's our favorite quote from maybe Vaidya is prana is maharasayana. We do detox for rejuvenation. Rasayana is rejuvenation. And herbs, marma massage, abhyanga, all kinds of different protocols Ayurveda offers us. But ultimately, the greatest maha rasayana is prana. So bringing in more prana through as many modalities as you can. And that's what we cover also in this course. We cover a lot of knowledge in this course. We have a Samadi Marma course. It's the course that you are going to get in this detox course, and it re-enlivens the flow of cosmic prana into our heart lotus. You learn what that means, and you learn the points. You learn how to do the protocol. I'm going to play this quick video so you get an idea of what the course is about.
This body is the city of Brahman. Within it is an abode in the shape of a lotus. And within that, there is a small space. One must search within this space and earnestly desire to know what is there. The space in the heart is as big as the space outside. Heaven and earth are both within it. So also fire and air. The sun and the moon, lightning and the stars. Whatever in this world exists or does not exist, all rests within that space, in the embodied self. Re-enliven the flow of cosmic prana into your heart lotus, body, and mind through the use of marma points in order to achieve a state of blissful samadhi, as taught by Vaidya Mishra.
Reason number 7, we boost our immunity. When we are doing detox, we have, different ways of not only cleaning the body, but of boosting the body's overall processes, the dehagnis, the agnis that are in between the different tissues, not just in the stomach. And this helps with the aging process and the prevention of diseases. And you will feel, you feel like $1 million, as the expression goes. Reason number 8. We will learn some practices that you will adopt and be able to use over and over again, even when you're not doing a full detox, a seasonal detox. For example, bathing. Bathing it's relaxing, it feels good after a long week or a long day at work, but it has so many amazing properties, and the Ayurvedic texts lists them all. But they also help release not just physical toxins, but your emotions that, might be haunting you, and some thoughts that are going, like a broken record. So, like, these get stuck in our body and specifically in our muscles. And when you take a bath, you're relaxing and opening the pores, and the muscle tissue is one of the first through sweat that gets to release its toxins, and things start to feel better. So it's really a very powerful tool, especially if you add herbs. And Vaidya made amazing bath pouches. You'll be getting a couple of them in your detox box when you sign up. So you get to experience, but you can choose whichever one, works best for you. Each one does something different. This is a verse that talks about the benefits of bathing. I will not read it. I'll not go into it right now, but we will talk more about it during our course. But it translates basically into this. Taking a bath with Ayurvedic herbs is Deepanam. It increases your metabolic and digestive fires. It's Vrishyam. It increases the 7 tissues. You want more of the tissues, because when the tissues are getting thin and less, it means you are getting wasted away. You're not getting nourishment, and it's not a good sign. And it especially increases the reproductive tissue, the shukra, which is a sign of great health, because it's a process for the food to be processed and the energy to reach the shukra dhatu, meaning everything is working well for it to get to that point. It's ayushyam. Bathing is ayushyam. It increases longevity. It's snana mojo. It increases ojas. Balapradam increases stamina. Kandumala, it takes away itching and malas, toxic waste from the skin. It's Shrama, removes fatigue. Sweda, cleans sweat. Tandra, removes drowsiness. Trida, makes you strong. Daha, it takes burning away. Papamanutam, cleanses physically and vibrationally. Vaidya explained this to mean it takes away even bad karma. So you want to bathe. So you'll find out more about this in our course. These are the different bath pouches that we have, and we are going to talk about, what each one does and how it can help you, so you can choose. You'll get like a couple of them in your detox box already. Reason number 9, when you reset your dhatus, your agni, and things get settled. Once you do marma, you're receiving more prana. Automatically, you'll be able to curb your cravings. And there's a big science behind the cravings. It's not just, that there are products that are, always attracting you to get off of the track that you've promised yourself to be on. It's because when you are craving sweet and creamy stuff, for example, it's a signal that your body needs more protein. It's seeking more soma. You'll understand what soma means, and how we use it, especially in Vaidya's, teachings of Ayurveda. It means something different than what is usually taught out there. It's very practical, and it's very beautiful knowledge. When you're craving salty and crunchy stuff, for example, it's another signal that your shrotas need some cleansing. You need to balance klidaka, and it's your body telling you to bring in more balance in a specific way. When you're craving spicy and sour, it's a signal that you need more agni in your body, because the sour taste is more agneya, and so is the spicy, the pungent taste. So all these things get balanced in and of themselves with a little bit of help from the protocol and the diet and all the different things that you will be doing. And you'll learn more also, like I mentioned earlier, about what dead, dumb, and intelligent food is, what it means, and how you can, bring that into your diet. Reason number 10, and this is a very important one. It should probably be reason number 1, but we do it together. So over 8 weeks, we'll delve into knowledge, 4 weeks of knowledge, where we just cover all the fundamentals, everything you need to know in terms of the protocol and prepping and what you will be doing on the day of, and all the concepts that you might not be familiar with, you familiarize yourself with. So we will meet every week to go over things. You'll have some homework to do, nothing, to stress you out and make you produce more toxins, obviously, but and then we are going to have a platform, an online platform where you can text anytime, you can share anytime, you can ask any questions, and just, it's a journey we'll embark on together for 8 weeks, and laugh together, we don't want to cry, but just, be there for each other and know that we're going through it together. So the 11th reason is, basically the first reason is you flowing in harmony with the world and the environment that you are part and parcel of, and realigning yourself with the cycles of time and staying in that realignment. The things you're going to learn in this detox course, you can actually use all throughout the year. When you do the spring detox, you will be more regimented and structured, perhaps, in terms of what you choose to eat and avoid, at least for a few weeks, so that you can, achieve your goal, maybe of losing a few pounds, of feeling more, less stiff, of feeling lighter and happier, and anything. But all the recipes, all the fundamentals of the SWA diet that you will learn, what to avoid, for example, the nightshades, or, other edibles that we get addicted to, learning about the 4 types of toxins, the Samadi marma protocol. These are all things that you can use throughout the year, all the time, without having like a regimented, objective, but just using them on a daily basis in a gentle way. Your diet will be upgraded, and all of that. So just being in connection with the environment through tools that you're going to pick up. So it's not just a detox that, is limited to these few weeks where we'll be doing this together. So overall, you might, many of you might experience improved digestion and assimilation, as well as elimination. It's an important aspect of this detox. You may find that you're sleeping better, you have greater energy, more stamina, mental clarity, and more bliss, and just feel better and younger. These are all things that many of our past participants have experienced and have given us feedback on. And depending on where you are in your journey, everybody's experience will be different. This is our program that goes week by week, and perhaps I can invite Donalda to help us go over. Would you like to do this part, Donalda?
Yes. Basically, what we're going to be doing is just slowly moving towards doing actual detox. So the first 4 weeks, there's a lot of things that we're going to be doing and to strengthen and realign the nervous system so that we're in the best possible shape that we can be in once we start detox, in that our channels, both vibrational and physical, are widened, because some things that we do, it narrows the channels, it dries out the channels. So those channels need to be widened, they need to be lubricated or rehydrated. And then they need to also just be strengthened. So this is basically the goal of the first 4 weeks, and then to get some intellectual knowledge. There's a lot of people that something works, but if they don't understand the underlying principles of why it works, then it's not something that they're comfortable with. There's those of us, if it works, fine. I don't care what the underpinnings are, and that's fine too. So we're catering to both types of people. So basically, week one, before you come to the first webinar, we want you to have taken the Samadi Marma course. And that Samadi Marma course is really important because it strengthens and balances the emotions. And as we go through the detox process, that's an important part. We're also going to be talking about the 4 toxins. And then this is new this particular year. We're going to start designing our own tea and our own spice mix, depending on the level of our pH. Week 2, depending on our level of pH, then we'll start moving towards what we can do to improve elimination, hydration, and rejuvenation again. And we begin to organize our Ayurvedic kitchen. And we're also learning a vibrational massage, because on the energetic and vibrational level, we want those channels to be open too. And so the vibrational massage is very, very important in that aspect. And so we're going to start shopping and maybe eliminating things that are going to clog, shrink, or inflame our channels. And also one of the things we need to do with toxins, especially the really strong, very powerful ones, we want to bind them. So basically what we're doing, we're going to wrap them up so that they don't harm the physical channels on the way out. And that also makes sure that they get out. One of the last things, Vajra Mishra noticed a lot when he came to North America, that when we do detox, if those toxins aren't bound and they aren't shown the way out, then they're still virulent, and they'll just sort of wander around. And if the channels are shrunk, they're not going out, and so they'll just migrate and settle somewhere else. So we don't want that happening. So on week 3, by that time you'll have your detox box, and also you'll be learning how to do Abhyanga. And you'll start to go through your checklists and get everything ready. And then the weeks 5 to 8, we'll be doing our weekly detox, which is a 1-day detox, and I'll go into more detail in a minute, and share question and answers. And the webinars are like amazing places to learn about detox and share our experiences. And because there's so many of us, it just broadens our educational outlook really quickly. Thank you, Dr. Molina.
Thank you, Donalda. That was fabulous. Let's move on to our next slide, which is actually you.
Thank you. Okay, so what does a typical detox day look like and in the springtime in SVA? So first of all, I want to talk about the goals, and Dr. Molina did a really excellent job, but I just want to sort of reiterate it because it's so important. And so we want to promote the flow of prana. And prana is the first manifestation of primordial energy. And then it sort of fragments into soma, agni, and marut. And prana is basically the basic bioelectric magnetic power of nature. And this runs our body's magnetic power and recharges our organs and systems. So in to understand the body, we need to understand and support the flow of prana. And so this is a very, very important part of this particular home detox program. We have 10 objectives. Shamana, and so basically it's supporting and repairing the emotional, the intellectual, spiritual, and physical body. Shodhana is basically the actual detox. And so we're going to be lubricating and protecting the channels. We're going to keep the channels open. And we're going to locate the toxin, bind the toxin, and supervise the toxin exit at gunpoint if need be. And we're going to be introducing resinas. So when this toxin leaves, there's an empty space, and nature always wants to fill in empty space. And so we want to make sure that that space is cleaned, it's lubricated and balanced. So then that space can be filled with balancing resinas. Dinacharya, or our daily habits and routines, is a resina as well. It's a preventive way to keep things running. So it's important to keep our livers cool. Our livers clean the blood, and it's a major tool in keeping our bodies balanced. In dinacharya, we want to keep our channels open and clean during, before, and after. And one of the things we also want to do is make sure that we're not putting more toxins in. There's nothing worse than going through all this effort, cleaning the body of toxins, and then the following week we put more toxins into the body. So we want to stop doing that. And also we're going to be doing the regular practice of the Samadi marma and the vibrational protocol and home detox in the future. So how do we start? The big question. So contact the Prana Center and SVI Ayurveda and register. As soon as you register, make sure that you book a free discovery call with your assigned home detox educator. And this discovery call will determine what's going to be in your detox box. So you need to have that right away. So that needs to be organized right away. As soon as that happens, then go to your Teachable website that you'll be given the link for, and take the Samadi Marma course. Take the course and do the quiz before our first webinar on March 14th. Around that time, you're going to receive your detox box. And in the detox box, there's going to be some Samadi Marma protocol. It's called the Samadi Marma set. So you can learn the Samadi Marma and practice without it. But once you get this set, it'll take you to, a different higher level. So all of these products are SVA designed products that are designed to open, lubricate, strengthen the channels. So we want to ask you that you avoid using any other kind of substitute products without the recommendation of your detox educator. It's really important that these products be organized in a certain way, because we want everything to be supported in a tridoshic, so that all levels of the body is supported at the same time. We don't want to be taking something to help our heart, and then it's blocking our digestion, for example. So all of these products are designed to do no harm. So they're not going to unbalance anything. They're designed to balance all aspects of the physiology. All of these products are formulated by Vaidya Ramakant Mishra, and it reflects his Shaka Vansyia Ayurvedic tradition. So this year, this is new. We've changed the course. So the first 4 weeks is detox class. And the second 4 weeks is implementing the detox cleanse. And so during the first 4 weeks, as you saw through the syllabus, what we're going to be doing is just strengthening the nervous system. We're going to have personal spice mixes, personal teas that we'll be using to prepare our bodies. Also, there's just preparation of getting the right things and into our kitchen, and learning some basic things that we need to cook. So one of the things I think that's really important, Dr. Molina mentioned it, and I'd like to mention it again, that there is no fasting in this course. You want to avoid fasting. So don't think, well, I'm not going to do this week, I'll just fast. It's not going to be helpful for you. So this 1-day cleanse is 1 day a week for 4 weeks. So, and also the night before. So basically what you're going to be doing, you're going to be opening up your home detox classroom on Teachable. You're going to be viewing the weekly videos. You're going to be downloading, printing, and reading the recommended material. There'll be checklists to follow. And then each week, you'll take some notes, record your experiences, and then ask your questions in the in-person weekly webinar. You're also going to be meeting with your SWA detox educator once a week. And so between the webinar and the SWA detox educator, you have a lot of support. So just ask any question. There's no question that's stupid. There's no question that's crazy. Just ask away. So you're going to be starting your 1-day cleanse the night before. So you want a quiet day. So you're going to be eating lightly the night before. You want to avoid driving, avoid technology, and get organized. That's a huge thing. And once you're organized, then the day goes really quickly. The course dates. So the detox early bird deadline, or the sale deadline, ends midnight, March 10th. Detox class starts. Those are the webinars on March 14th. Home detox starts on the 11th. So some people say, well, can I do home detox before the 11th? And that really depends on you and your physiology and what you and your SWA educator decide. So what to do next? Register today, book your discovery call, register and take the Samadi or marma, and complete it before the 14th. And for the other, for the home detox course, just download and print the material before the webinar starts. So you're going to be taking, there's going to be 2 different courses on your Teachable. So there'll be the Samadi course, that's a 1 button. And then the other button is the detox course. So we can hardly wait for you to join us. It's a lot of fun. And the webinars are going to be at 1:30 p.m. and Pacific Standard Time. All of the webinars are recorded and will be put onto the Teachable website so that you can go look at them again. Or if you miss the webinar, then you can attend whenever you want. Namaste.
Thank you, Donalda. That was fabulous. So just to, for those of you who are new, just to say it, you know, in 1 sentence, 4 weeks, we will be studying together, because Shaka Vansyia Ayurveda, Vaija's, you know, way of doing things, if you're not familiar, is a little different from other programs or protocols. So you'll get the foundationals, you'll get the basics, and it's going to be all knowledge that's very practical and applicable. It's not, you know, just abstract. It's things that you're going to be using in a very intimate way. So we will study the basics, the foundationals, and it includes, you know, the diet, what to eat, and what to, at least for the 4 weeks of detox, avoid or minimize so that you can get best results from your detox. And then for the 4 weeks of detox, you select 1 day. Ideally, it's nice to do it on Saturdays because you can wind down your week on Friday afternoon. Friday evening, you can already start with a simple meal. We'll give you recipes. You take a bath. Now we know why it's so wonderful to take a hot bath anytime, all the time. And you start easing into mentally, physically, and emotionally, easing into the upcoming detox day that you are allowing yourself to experience, which will be on the Saturday. And you prep your food also, so you don't have to stress out and worry about that. Everything will be ready. You can use slow cookers. We're going to talk about that too. That way you can just relax, stay away from electronic devices on that day. completely if possible, or at least, you can keep your phone on, but not, watching movies. You can read a book instead, or stitch, or do something, that you enjoy doing that is away from EMF. And then Sunday is a wonderful day to just ease back into your regular routine, and then spend it, doing something that you enjoy with family or friends, and seeing how you feel after having done a day of detox, and slowly easing back into your activities, your active week ahead of you. So this is the idea. And like Donalda explained, you will have an initial meeting with an educator who will help you determine. We have a few variations for some of the products that might be best suited for your physiology, and together with the educator, you will find out what those are, and then you'll receive your detox box, which in itself is a wonderful discovery of the beautiful wisdom and edible knowledge of that Ayurveda is, through flavors, balancing flavors and scents and all kinds of wonderful effects. So Vaidya Mishra was an expert formulator. If you've ever tried any of his products, you know what I'm talking about. So this is in a nutshell, but maybe I think we've spoken enough. Let's just hear you all, what questions you might have, and or comments. Maxine, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to emphasize for people that are new to what we do here, it's not like we have totally two different sections. What we realized as we had done, this numerous times in the past, it took people a little bit to get up to speed to be able to fully engage in that 1 day full detox, starting the night before. Well, it's the cleanse part of it. But really, the detox starts when you start with your Samadi program. It starts when you start trying some of the different recipes, avoiding certain foods that we go over in the knowledge piece. And so your detox is really starting, regardless, it's still starting as we're moving forward, getting to that 1 day cleanse.
Absolutely. Beautiful. And in this sense also, once the course ends officially or unofficially after, the 8th week, you are welcome to continue with the detox and stay in touch with your educator, and just, keep using the recipes and the protocol for another few weeks. Ideally, Vaidya Mishra would recommend doing 7 weeks detox, 1 week for each dhatu. It's nice. It's a nice, concept, and it eases you into a certain rhythm. It's nice for the body to experience, lightness and having less of a load for that amount of time. So you are welcome to continue it after, our course ends as well. It's an option that you have. So, any questions? Comments?
I have some questions.
Yes, Santaji.
Hey, thank you so much for all the wonderful information all of you presented. And they said first we need to take the Samadhi Marma course. I believe it is online, right?
Correct. So the Samadhi Marma course it has videos, it has written material, and you can watch and download, and it has an instructional video as well. So it teaches you what to do step by step. And there's also wonderful videos by Vaidya himself, so you get to listen. And with the Samadhi Marma, you also learn how to chant specific mantras, because the vibrational frequency, each marma point resonates with a vibrational frequency, and the specific marma points that we will be using are on the same vibrational frequency as some mantras that you learn in the course, and the instructions are also part of the video recording content, video recorded content of the course. So everything is online, and you'll be self-sufficient. And then you come to our meetings, and we practice the Samadhi Marma together.
Okay. So can we use our own mantra, or it has to be?
It's not a religious thing. It's an Ayurvedic, it's a mantra that has a health benefit. It's the marma mantra. So it's a specific frequency that brings in more prana into your marma points. So you're not invoking a devata or god or anything. You're just harnessing more of the prana to come in through that marma point. So it's preferable if you can do that specific mantra for the marma point.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay, thank
brought up a really, really good point, Santha. And the whole idea is that some people do have mantras from their spiritual practice. And so that's very, very good. So this, you don't mix them up. You don't mix them up at
Okay.
all. So you just want to keep whatever you've learned separate and how you use them separate. And then this one is going to come with its own instructions, and you just use it that way. It's interesting in Vedic society, it didn't matter what profession you were in, you had mantras to further along your profession, whether it was a Vedic architect, Vedic musicians, and in this case, Ayurveda. So in the Western world, especially in my case, religion is definitely over here and work is away over here, and the two never meet. And in Vedic times, everything was kind of just, it was just integrated together.
Thank you, Sunny's point.
And ultimately, if you really, feel you don't want to use the mantra, you'd still have benefit by doing the procedure and following those instructions.
Yeah, that's a great point, Maxine. Thank you for
So
reminding that.
Lisa asked a question on the chat. Are there any situations where detox would not be recommended for someone at this time?
Yeah, that's a great question. Absolutely. There's always situations, and people go through different things. And also it could happen that you start the detox, but you don't feel as good as you thought you would, or it's just not really, helping you right now, or it's going too fast. Then we have other recommendations, other meaning we slow things down. And instead of doing, the full detox for that 1-day detox, we have other gentler protocols that will still help you detox without necessarily going through the steps of the specific protocol that, we use in general when we are doing the full proper detox. So there's always, everybody's journey is different. And as you're traveling on it, things unfold, and we are very well prepared. Vaidya has left wonderful details for us for you to adopt if that were the case. And this is also a great question, because just to remind you that if you do have a medical condition or like specific chronic condition, you can do the detox if you feel it is safe. We are not doing, Ayurvedic healing here. This is a seasonal detox. It's very gentle, it's very light, but sometimes it can be too much for some people, and then we take it case by case. But if you do want more detailed attention and you want to address specific health issues, we do have, amazing Ayurvedic doctors trained by Dr. Mishra that you can contact. Dr. Marianne Tattlebaum is one of them, for example, and she's available. She does Ayurvedic consultations via video or phone call all over the world, and she can help you, and she will work, one-on-one with you and give you a specific protocol for that. So this detox is within the boundaries of a very safe protocol that should not harm you in any way. But some people are more sensitive, and that's why we keep up with you. We follow up with you to see how you're feeling and what you're experiencing. And we guide you, if you do need to have, maybe to talk to her or, whatever steps are necessary. So I hope this answers your question. I know it went a little further, but yeah, thank you. So any more questions? We have so many people who signed up, almost 60 people who signed up for the free session, but I think it's because of the day and the time, but they might be joining us. But the more questions we have, the better it'll be for them when they watch this free session. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask.
What is vibrational massage? Somebody mentioned
Yes,
about
vibrational massage. Vibrational massage. So you know how we talked about the shrotas and the nadis. There's the physical channels and the energetic channels. So the physical channels, we detox, we take care by doing physical detox through food and herbs and things. The vibrational channels, we do detox through non-physical means, and the vibrational massage helps with problems that can be, pestering you through the vibrational channels or the nadis. For example, EMF, too much EMF really burns up your nadis, or stuck prana due to various reasons. So you learn a specific massage that's vibrational in nature, that's addressing the vibrational energetic aspect of your health. And it's very powerful. It's a full body massage. And sometimes what we do is we do half the body and not the other half. So you get to actually experience the difference between how it's working and when you don't have it. So it's really very wonderful.
I was just wondering about the cost.
Cost of the course is $2,900, but we have the early bird that expires March 10th, which brings it down to half price, $1,450. So $1,450 includes the Samadi Marma course, which is a course in and of itself, as well as the vibrational massage and EMF detox techniques, which is also another course on its own on our website, if you have seen it, in addition to a box of Ayurvedic products that will be tailored for your needs, that you will receive after you have your one-on-one with the Ayurvedic educator. This price also includes any sessions during the course that are online. For additional sessions, if you'd like to schedule one-on-ones, you'll be able to do that with your educator at other times, whatever works for you. So, and this expires on March 14th. So you have some time, but better to book and, get started with your homework so you are ready when we initiate it in March.
I thought you said before that it expired March 10th. Or
I'm
maybe
sorry,
we're
you're
talking
right.
about
You're
something
right.
else.
You're right. It expires March 10th and the course begins on March 14th. You're
Okay.
right.
All right,
Thank
good.
you.
I just want to make sure I have that right.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you.
Do you have a different price for those of us returning?
Yes. Those of you who are already, detoxers, expert detoxers, we have a special rate and you can just contact us. It's a fraction because you have already all the knowledge and you can connect with your educator one-on-one and the product you probably already have, or you can purchase them on your own. And for you, there will be a discount code for the duration of the detox. So you get your products at a discounted rate as a, repeat. So for those of you for whom this is a first time experience, if you decide to do the detox, we do it twice a year in the spring and in the fall. If you decide to come back and do it with us, you will have already all the knowledge, but it's always so nice. I mean, for us who have been doing this for so many years, we always rediscover details that, like little nuggets also, like little things that really are big, revelations of knowledge. And it's always nice to keep doing it. We learn from each other, and you have just really a very symbolic charge at that point to join in with the group experience. So it's a lifetime investment, basically, if I were to put it in another way. Carol, did you want to say anything?
I was just agreeing with you that after doing this since the beginning of the course, and of course even practicing spa since the beginning of my time with the world of Ayurveda, yeah, I'm unveiling new parts of myself that open me up to deeper understanding, knowledge, and awareness to what Vaidya was talking about all along. Sometimes it's like, oh, now I finally get it a little bit more. I never will say complete, because I don't want to close the door to that opportunity to continue to learn the depth of Vaidya's teaching. Mm-hmm.
It's always wonderful to have, aha moments. The mind is looking for that. That's why, things are never stale in nature. There's always one season after another. And by the time spring is coming back again, you're ready for it. You're like, yeah, it's spring again. It's wonderful. So it's like that, with Vaidya's knowledge, you come back to it after a while, and you're always, I've been doing, I met Vaidya more than 20 years ago, and some of the stuff is just like, it still blows me away. And I do read a lot of, Ayurvedic books, and I'm really in on everything else that's going on. And still, it never grows stale, and it's wonderful. It's the sign of, something that's full of prana. It's alive. It never grows stale. So.
Yeah, the other thing I'd like to mention too, that's in this course that is really invaluable are the videos of Vaidya giving the course, and just sort of listening to how he organizes things and how he explains it. And the other thing that's really important are the checklists. Honestly, there's just these, you have your protocols, and you have your kind of your cheat sheets of how to do things, in case you fall off the wagon, which I have more than once throughout the time that I've been here. And all of a sudden, oh, I got to get back, but I can't remember or whatever. So, that information is just invaluable. So you'll also be talking on once a week with your educator. So you have two opportunities to connect, once on the webinar and once with your educator. And so we can keep on top of your particular detox experience. And Melina's, absolutely right. It just depends. The first time I did this detox, I did the softest one way back. And over the years, I've been able to, kind of scale it up a bit. But honestly, that first time that I did it, even though it was, some people look at it and say, what is that, a detox? That's not a detox. But for me, that was so profound. It was just the most profound thing that had ever happened, because for the first time ever, I was comfortable going through the detox process. I wasn't having huge this and huge that. So, however you start, that is your start, and it's designed especially for you. And that'll be something that'll give you the most profound effect at that time.
Evangeline, did you want to say or share anything? You're such an expert detoxer and Ayurvedic teacher yourself.
I always return because the knowledge goes so deep, and we ourselves are very complex. So there will be something that you will experience, whether you've done it so many times, that is different from the previous detox or any other ones that you may have done in the past, whether it was SVA or not. Because the knowledge is deep, it touches your heart so deeply. And once you've experienced it, you want to return because there's so much light in the knowledge, because it's so pure. And because we're pure beings and we come from the ultimate source, because we all come from the same source. when the heart touches that, you just cannot help but reach towards it every season. That's how I feel about it. You reach for it and you just embrace it, and it embraces you back because it's always embracing you. We just sometimes forget that. And I think when you are touched by SVA, you're just naturally drawn to that light because we are light beings. And coming out of winter when it's so heavy, what a gift. And it's here already. You just have to bring it into your life. And that to me is what SVA is. It naturally wants to embrace you. Like we all say, Ayurveda is like the mother of all healing. What does that really mean? When I first heard that 20 odd years ago, you kind of get it. But then when you hear SVA, you really get it. You really embrace it because it's embracing you. It's so light and you feel lighter. And like, like Donalda said, it can be such a simple thing and you didn't realize, oh, just doing that, I feel lighter. Your mind also becomes lighter. You know, there's so many things that brings us down, but SVA will never fail you on that. SVA will lighten you. Just the knowledge itself will lighten you. Remember that? I just want to share something really quickly. 2 or 3 years ago, I hadn't even started my detox and I was already going. Like the shoulders were evacuating what was stuck there, you know, the last 3-4 months of winter. And I hadn't even done the food yet. It was just coming out. It was just flowing, like Milena said. You want to flow with nature. And that's what SVA is to me. You flow. You want to flow with nature. Align with it again. So that's my experience.
I want to do any course you're teaching. I just want to be, that was amazing. That was incredible, Evangeline. And you've been doing this for so long and you speak of it like, you know, it's like first time, first love, inspired and inspired, because it is, SV Ayurveda is like that. It will just reawaken that part of you that is ever young, ever full of light and love and eternal. So that was so beautiful, Evangeline. Thank you.
Thank you, Milena. Thank you.
Any other questions, ladies?
Dr. Milna, I have a question.
Yes.
It seems like a first 4 weeks study, what it means exactly. Will there be like a Zoom meeting or what is 4 week study?
Yes. We'll be meeting every week on Thursdays at 1:30, and our sessions will go on for 2 hours. Sometimes they will go over for 3 hours. It depends on all of you, you know, how many questions you have, what else you want to cover, but definitely 2 hours. And so we will be, basically what we've done this year, as Donala was also mentioning, is we've isolated the time where you become more familiar with the knowledge instead of just delving into doing the detox after the second week. So we've given ourselves a little more time so as to not create emotional and mental toxins from being stressed about to do, right? So it's important. So we've given ourselves like a little breathing room so that we can all, you know, feel confident about which vegetables should be in your fridge and which ones you should just, you know, put aside for the next 4 weeks so that your detox is optimal. So 4 weeks, we meet on Thursdays at 1:30 for a couple of hours. And then outside of those class sessions, you are welcome and free to, you know, connect with your educator. And then after 4 weeks, we have 4 weeks where you don't need to learn. You can still study the content, but what you are doing is we are meeting in order to discuss our experiences of how our detox went. We can still talk about toxins, we can still talk about a protocol, but we're going to assume that you have spent some time going over it. You can still ask us any questions. We'll tell you why you should not be eating the nightshades. We'll tell you why you should not be eating bananas or onion and garlic, for example. But those 4 weeks are primarily for you to share and to hear what others went through in terms of their detox so that we can grow together in our experience of detox.
The last 4 weeks detox means like on a daily basis or once one day in
No,
a week?
once a week. Once a
Once a
week.
week, okay.
Once a week. So on a daily
Right.
basis, what's going to happen is when you eliminate, for example, the nightshades, you have less of a, pressure on your shrotas. So you're automatically already doing a very gentle detox by just incorporating some of the recipes that Dr. Mishra has given us, which are part of the SVA diet. You're already doing a detox, not just by taking out toxins, but by not putting them inside your body. That's already a kind of detox. So that's what you're doing during the week. But then that one day of the week, ideally the Saturday, you're going to actually do a virechana, which means you're eliminating toxins through taking a bath, through also having like more than a couple bowel movements, and then resting and not putting in new toxins. So we will discuss more the protocol more, and it's very simple, and you will become very familiar with it by the time it's time for you to actually go through the detox.
Okay, thank you, Harish.
Yeah.
Some people have asked in the past that, it doesn't sound like much of a detox really, because you're only doing the actual physical cleanse one day a week. We've done detoxes where you're detoxing like every day, for weeks. How can this be? How does it work really? And so basically, what we got to think about is what happens to the spaces where those toxins were. We've taken the toxins out, and so there's an empty space. And so what we're going to be doing for the rest of that week is we're going to be cleaning and nourishing and replacing that space with a resina, something that's going to promote to revitalize, and also to just keep things balanced. And so we need time to do that. And so we're going to have soothing teas, soothing spices. Some of you will have your own specific herbs depending on what you and your educator, and if you decide to see Dr. Marianne Teitelbaum, your practitioner, decides for you. So it's big. It's very big, but it's gentle, and it's very nourishing.
And I want to emphasize also the recipes. I love food, and I think, maybe all of us here are also foodies. The recipes that you learn will be so simple and so delicious. You will be surprised, and they will be full of prana. And the recipes are something that you can use throughout the year, anytime. Evening, for dinner, or for lunch, any season. They are very light yet nourishing. So in and of itself, just the food aspect of things and just learning about what to eat and what not to eat is a great, detox aid for 365 days, not just for the detox period of a few weeks in the spring and in the fall.
I have a question.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful.
I do see some recipes in home detox manual. Are you referring the same recipes or something different?
There's going to be more recipes. We will be using those recipes to guide you into, but there are specific recipes for the day of detox and additional recipes that we share only in this detox course.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting, that little booklet, and it's just kind of the beginning of the detox process. There's a lot more, because some of us have been doing detox for quite a few years, and so we've figured out some great things that can really help you in your process.
And Dr. Mishra himself, he wrote that was one of the first things that he put together, that booklet. After that, he kept elaborating and sharing protocols on detox that did not make it into a second edition, but that we've gathered and put together. this course is very content rich, basically. And I'm just going to say this because I have to say it, but you should not be overwhelmed by the amount of knowledge that we're going to be sharing, because you saw there's many students who come back year after year to revisit the knowledge, to be in the group experience, and to keep learning. And it's a process. So you can start with a little bit of knowledge and it will still work wonderfully. And then you keep, revisiting, and then you add another detail and another layer, and then you experience more. And, like Evangeline said it so beautifully, it's alive and it keeps flowing, and it's, animated, and it just keeps growing in you, and you grow with it as well. So there's going to be a lot of knowledge. You start somewhere, and then from there on, you continue on your journey. Shambhavi, let's hear from you before we go.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. This is a wonderful course. I've been associated with this course from a long time, ever since it was designed by Vaidya Mishra. And this is the simplest ever detox course that I ever come across in Ayurveda. And the difference between other detoxes and Swa detox focuses mainly on simplifying everything, and also it focuses on prana, restoring prana, which is what keeps us going. And that is what the difference between other Ayurveda and Swa Ayurveda. So when you do every protocol, even the vibrational massage or the Samadi marma, even the diet, everything addresses your how to enhance your prana, your circulation channels, open up the circulation channels for free flow of prana, energy, and also whatever detox happens, it happens naturally. You don't aggravate your channels, or you don't go into any crisis. That is the best with Swa detox. That's what I want to say. And my experience with my other whoever have done so far, and I've guided them in this course, they all have found best results, in terms of weight loss, and also being flexible with having a calming effect, and um, all their small, regular, all the health issues, minor or major health issues, they are getting resolved eventually as they progress through the course. And it's a great knowledge. Mainly it is the knowledge, it is not just for the person who is enrolled in detox course, but this knowledge, they can use it throughout for their entire family. It is useful. So you can use it for the entire family, and everybody can get benefit from the knowledge. That's what I want to say about this course. It's a wonderful program, and I hope you all will enjoy it.
Thank you, Shambhavi. We know that you speak from a place of experience of many, many years.
I just wanted to sort of mention that when I first started this, I had 2 daughters at home, and my husband. And so whenever I went on detox, everybody went on detox. They didn't even know they were on detox, but everybody went on detox. And interestingly, my daughters just went on their way and everything. And then all of a sudden, they leave home, and 2 or 3 years later, they're going, "Mom, what did you do? I feel so horrible." And so they just naturally came back to it. And both of them are Swa cooks. And so it's just the most amazing thing. So, my daughters had major medical problems that one of them would be still living with me today if I had not gotten into this in the 90s. And she's off living on her own. She's got a master's in engineering, and she's living her life. And without this, I don't think that would have been possible, because she wasn't if she had stayed the way she was, she would have been at home with me for the rest of her life. So there's some really major things that can happen by just changing your lifestyle just a little bit. And I think that's why Dinacharya is just so important. Dinacharya, or our daily habits. it can really make a difference in our health and long term. Thanks.
So beautifully said. Just allowing nature to come and do what it's meant to do in our bodies. We remove the blockages through the diet and the routine where we might be doing wrong things. And then you bring in more of nature and nature's pranic healing properties. So things flow through us. And then we become more aligned, and then the healing happens and miracles happen literally. And we've seen them over and over again in our own personal lives. Each one of us has their story, and I'm sure it's going to come up during the several weeks where we will be sharing together. So it's a beautiful journey. It's full of knowledge, full of deliciousness, delicious recipes, and Vijay's timeless Ayurvedic wisdom, and just us being together as a group to support each other. And what a wonderful way to use technology, even though we complain about too much EMF, but hey, it allows us to be together from all these different time zones all over the world, and that's actually such a blessing. So it'll be wonderful to be with all of you, my co-teachers. Yes, Caroline?
I have a good friend that I would really love for her to look into this, because it would be really something that would be really great for her. But she obviously didn't attend tonight. What would I tell her to do if she wanted to look into it and find out more about it?
So I'm going to have this video on YouTube.
Okay.
And I will probably, I mean, I could make it public, but I will definitely send out the link. I'll send the link to the list of the students, who had signed up, showing interest for the course. So you are on it. You will get it, and then you can just forward her the email and she can watch it. And then if she would like to talk to any of us, we can arrange, if she'd like, a one-on-one with you. You are familiar now with all our educators. You can select whoever you think will be best for her. And then, you can reach out and let us know, and we can arrange for a meeting or a conversation for her.
Okay, great. Thank you. I
Yeah.
don't know if she will, but obviously, yeah, but I'd love to let her know about it. Thank you.
Yeah, let her start somewhere, just sometimes maybe she'll just watch the video this year and she'll come back in the fall. Sometimes things, they have to like be planted and sprout in their own time. So Vijay used to say, whenever you wake up, that is your morning. Wonderful.
The other thing too, and for anybody who might be interested, there is an opportunity to become a detox, SBA home detox educator. So the way that you would do that is you take the course once, so you go through it once, and then let your educator know that you're interested. And then the following course, you'll just follow a slightly different protocol, and you'll go through the course again. And once you go through it, so you'll be doing a presentation, and you'll be supporting as an educator one or two people, just to get sort of an idea of how it goes. And then if it all goes well at the end of that course, you'd be a certified SBA detox educator. And that allows you to, teach the course with your clientele in your area, or to help us run these courses.
As well. You can have access to the whole content and use it on your end to educate others. It's such beautiful knowledge. It's really, we've been, doing this for a few years. We've seen it work its magic on different audiences. So wonderful, ladies. So I think this was a beautiful couple of hours spent together, discussing this precious ancient, wisdom of Ayurveda. And I am looking forward to spending the next few weeks with all of you, and sharing the wisdom and going through the experience of detox as well. and I look forward to it. I know all our educators do. And yes, I think we can close our session for today and look forward to being with all of you. Thank you again to our wonderful educators, Donalda, Maxine, Evangeline, Carol, Shambhavi, and see you all soon. Namaste.